Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next round of the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series, the Glass Mechanic 150. No, actually, it's the NASRA 360 Racing Network 220. We're here. We are live on a beautiful Friday night. You're going to see it live, all of it here tonight on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Good evening, folks. I'm the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves. Yes, I am still alive. I have been gone for quite some time, but we are back. Michael McKinnon up here with me, as well as our great buddy Tyler Dittmer, and also Dean Hopton, the Australian Biggles, on production here tonight. But we got to go through the grid very, very quickly. We already got trucks out there on the track. They're already making pace laps. Here we go, starting on the pole here tonight. Joshua Rodriguez starting in that P1 spot with Matt Cherry. Oh, Cherry Bomb going to be on the outside of row number 1 in P number 2. Right behind him, Tristan Bruce and Devin Pater going to be back there behind him. Actually, that's Jeff Merck, believe it or not, back there. But Merck nowhere on the SDK. But anyway, Pater going to be rolling off from P4 here this evening. Tristan Bruce. There he is. Now he'll be in P5 with the Bulldog Adam Newton rolling off in P6 outside of row number 3. Row number 4, you got Chris Blanchard, that towing company. Dustin Scruggs in the 11. If you roll up a P8, round out the top 10, Michael, it's Ed Osborne and Isaac Bevan.
Yes, sir, Jake. And bringing up number 11 spot, we got Ryan Johnson. P12 going to be David Flanagan in the 31. Try to do this fast as I can, folks. Luke Smith will be P13. Dana Shepard rolling off P14. Next up, we're going to see Raul Meza, the old longtime guy here in the NASRA, P15, and P16, Cody Knott. P17, Brandon Schumann, alongside P18 in the 77, Curtis Banks. 19th will be Huck Wigington in the 00, and bringing up P20, I lost him. It was too fast.
James Beard, and then Eric Zimmerman, and then MDW Matthew David Wood rolling off from P11. Nick Sacco, John Freeman back here in row 24. You'll see the rest of your names sliding through here as the trucks is out there. Cofield, Montgomery, all the way down. 30 of them here tonight with Jose Luis Rivera, Tyler Daniels, and then back right there, tailhead Charlie, it's Broadfoot. Brandon Broadfoot and Adam Lichty, obviously TJ Moore, the race director here with NASRA. Michael, buddy, I'll talk to Tyler about this because Tyler, he's our in-race analysis. Tyler, you've won here like, hell, what, 3, 4, 5, 6 times? Hell, who's counting at this point? Tyler, you've been around this place. You know this place. You love this place. What is these drivers going to have to deal with here this evening?
Yeah, I appreciate the introduction there, Jacob. You know, the greatest thing about Las Vegas is it's one of the few intermediates where, yes, the draft helps, but there's a point where the draft is very painful. And on top of that, you have a big tire situation. You wouldn't think it. The banking is pretty decent here at Las Vegas in the mid-20 degrees, but we are seeing about a 1.5 second fall off from lap 1 of a run to about lap 15 of a run. These drivers are going to have to pay attention to that, and they're going to have to deal with the bumps down to 1 and 2. But like I was talking in the pre-race with you and Mike, the biggest deal here tonight is actually turns 3 and 4. That's where the truck gets really, really tight later on the run. If you're right behind another truck, you're going to shoot up the hill. You're going to lose all your momentum down the front straightaway and going into 1 and 2, where you can normally keep it pretty flat out late in the run. But 3 and 4, it's going to be the ability of the drivers who lift through the corners and get the momentum off the corners and avoid that dirty air is what's going to set them apart and win this race tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Stage 1 going to 30, stage 2 75, all the way to 145. Be the total laps here tonight at Vegas. 5 sets of tires. Michael was talking about that pre-race. This might be a little bit too much. The 100% fuel capacity in the afternoon. Track tip 102, air tip 77. Love the double sevens. Who's going to get 777 here tonight in Sin City? We're green flag, and we are rocking and rolling with the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series. Back at it on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Matt Cherry down on the inside, or that's Rodriguez on the inside. Cherry up top. You got Bruce. You got Pater back there behind him. Everybody working their way down the back chute.
Yeah, they're coming down the back chute, coming into 4 here. Still side by side. We see Painter, Cherry on the high side. I like the high side a little early here, even though the track temp's not real high. You'll see it prevail there off of 4 with Cherry. We'll see if Rodriguez can hang it in there on the bottom and keep it down, which they all should for about 15 laps. Then you'll start seeing guys migrate up the track a little bit.
Yeah, and I've already seen a couple of them already work their way down to the inside. Some of them trying to use the draft, maybe try to slingshot one of them way up against the wall right back there behind him. Might have been Isaac Bevan, possibly back there at that 27, working it up on that high side tickler line. A couple of them down in the center with Grandpappy Eyes the Moonshine from Granny. Down on the bottom of the track, you see your race details here tonight. Matt Cherry, he leads it. Painter right there behind him. Rodriguez, Bruce, they're going to slug it out as well. Blanchard trying to get in the middle of it. He'll go down to the inside. He'll try to follow in suit and actually maybe knock Rodriguez up the hill. He's going to try to go for third.
Tried to put the slide job on him there, just didn't quite have enough momentum. Looks like Tristan Brew is going to try the middle right here. I don't know if I want to go for that. He don't think he does either. And Tyler, as we're watching right here, I said I prefer a little bit off the bottom. How about yourself? Do you like early in the run off the bottom, try to save a little more tire while you're here?
Yeah, I think right now early in this run, these drivers need to find where the trucks ahead of them are not going, right? It's going to save that right front tire. As we talked about, tire wear here is dramatic. Fastest laps of the race are going to be high 30s, low 31s, and we're already seeing drivers falling into the 31 2s and 3s here based on lap time, timing, and scoring I have. If I'm up in the front, I'm going to run the perfect line, a late sweeping arc in 3 and 4, and in 1 and 2, I'm just going to run pretty much near the bottom. It's a little bit safer in 1 and 2. But if I'm further back in the field, I agree with you. I think you got to slide up a little bit, get about a lane or two off the bottom, try to keep momentum up in the truck, because as you get tighter and tighter, you're going to naturally drift up there anyway. So might as well be familiar. As you see a couple of trucks already trying the outside line in 1 and 2, which is pretty viable, but not this early on in the run.
Yeah, I mean, they're actually working their way. Everybody kind of like you was talking about, Michael, already starting to kind of spread out. A couple of them trying to run different lines. Painter up on that top side. Blanchard with that towing company. It ain't Blanchard's towing company anymore. It's that towing company. And by God, that is literally underlined about 3 times to know exactly what that means. There you see it, that towing company. Chris Blanchard rolling up to second. Painter almost smacks the wall off of 2. He's going to try to give chase to Cherry. Rodriguez is going to try to get back to Blanchard after maybe contact, maybe not. And here you go, riding on board right behind Painter. There's one of the youngsters here on the Friday Night Series. Tristan Bruce trying to make it happen as well. Took the top, jumps down to the bottom, tried to pull the draft. He'll sling it up on the top side. Bulldog Adam Newton right there trying to give chase as well.
Yeah, you can see what one little mistake does. Painter has just a little bit of a slip. 2 trucks take advantage. And here we go. We got Blanchard and Cherry going for the lead. The bottom is probably still good. He should be able to get a good run off the bottom here, but we'll see how that high side prevails. It usually does. When you stay off those bumps, you get a big run off the top.
Yeah, he is trying to get one hell of a run, but Cherry up on that top side, he will get the run. Slide right back around him. Blanchard already up 5 spots. He's not the biggest mover in the field. Biggest mover in the field, believe it or not. Yeah, you guessed it. MDW, Matthew David Wood, up 7 spots from where he qualified all the way up into the 15th spot. There's your biggest movers. Wood. Blanchard obviously now going for the lead as he dives down to the inside. You got Flanagan, Broadfoot, and Montgomery up 5-4 apiece. Blanchard down on the bottom side. Cherry up top. Rodriguez may try to hook up with him. Think Different may go 3 wide. Hole closes up. Cherry up top. Painter now going to follow in suit right behind Blanchard. They're still going to slug it out. Almost door banging coming off of turn 2.
And Tyler, you brought this up a little earlier, but the draft seems to be paying a little dividends on the top side right now. This is one of them places that's hard to get away from each other. The tire wear will show up in a little while, but early in the run, it's really stacked up, and that draft seems to have quite a pull off the top line right there.
Yeah, and we see how much that draft pulls into effect when the leaders got side by side. It really brought the top 10 back together. We saw a big moment there from Devin Painter, got loose in 3 and 4, slid up the track a little bit. He's losing 2 spots now. But I think you're going to start seeing the consequences of people's actions on these cars, these trucks now. See Chris Blanchard, now he's stuck on the bottom where the top is starting to be a more dominant lane. He's lost 2 spots already. Now Adam Newton looking to his outside. Keep an eye on some of your regulars, some guys that have been around a while who are familiar with this style of racing, right? Blanchard, very aggressive. He may be hurting here later on, but he does know how to run this track. Looking further on back in the field, look at Dana Shepard. He's very familiar with this track. Cody Knott, Jose Luis Rivera, some guys we probably haven't heard from a lot this season. Long term, they have run here very often, especially Las Vegas is a popular track on the NASRA calendar. I think they're going to do quite well in the long run if we keep it green.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to work it. Now Blanchard was really on a move. He was one of the biggest movers. Now he's fixing to be right back where the hell he was when he was rocking and rolling. Blanchard started 7th. He's already back to 6th. He's got Pater behind him, maybe trying to make something happen. Rodriguez now, he's up on the back door of Cherry. Bruce right behind them as well with the Bulldog Adam Newton smack dab in the middle of it as well. All of them lined up. You see them fan out. A couple of them almost smacked the wall off of 2. Ooh, baby, that outside lane, Michael, they get up there off of that turn 2. You don't know if you're going to hit that wall or not. You're literally Molly hatching it up there off of turn 2 as they Molly hatching it off of 4. Rodriguez and Bruce almost smacked the wall.
That was real close. Where you talking about getting up too high in 2, it's the same in 3 and 4. These simulations and virtual racing does take everything into account, and that is dirty up there. That is sandy. It's marbly, it's nasty. You get up too high, and all of a sudden you're just going for the ride. Same thing as if you were to get really tight, which these guys will after a while. You'll see them migrate up, but they're going to have to. They won't be able to stay wide open very long.
No, they're not going to be able to. And you saw right there on the hood of Tristan Bruce had the 16, obviously shouting out to the late great Greg Biffle right there on the hood. Also coming up on lap 16 as well. So big loss out of the racing community. But Bruce going to try to wheel it like Biffle. Be like Biff on the outside, able to take it up top. Rodriguez on the bottom. Bulldog Adam Newton will follow. Bruce sideways, almost sending it into 3. Adam Newton trying to make it happen as well. Here comes Scruggs on the inside.
And folks, I think Tyler's being proven dead right. You can see Blanchard. He's kind of throwing the parachute out. All these guys that have been up high, they are coming on strong right now. You see Dustin Scruggs on the inside there. Painter's trying to stay up high. 3 wide, almost through the corner. This is crazy. And Tyler, like you said, the guys that were trying this on the bottom, they're starting to pay the price even on lap 15.
They are, but we kind of saw it. The other big factor I talked about in the pre-race workup, the dirty air. Tristan Bruce made a move around Josh Rodriguez, jumped down to the bottom, covered him off, while Adam Newton tried to make a pass to the outside, and we saw Rodriguez's truck shoot up the hill immediately. And Newton had to get out of the gas and lost a little bit of his momentum. So this is another factor that's going to play on, especially as these tires get older. They're not going to have the same amount of grip. And when you get that truck coming across your nose in the corner, the truck is just going to immediately shift the racetrack. That's another thing these guys have to be very aware of throughout the night. But it's a good thing for the leader to learn because he can do that to the guys behind him and try and hold his lead. You see a very slow truck in the middle.
God, Dustin Scruggs, oh goodness. I don't know if that was dirty air or not right there, Tyler. I'll let you get on that, but it looked like maybe dirty air, maybe just a bad spot he got put in, had to get out of the gas, and everybody just wasn't aware of it. Tyler, what do you think on that?
I think it's a mix of dirty air, but also the tightness of these trucks, and you're going to get out of the gas, especially if you got someone to the outside. You're way out of the gas because you don't want to cause yourself to get in a wreck here. You don't want to drift up into that guy. Yes, these drivers are racing, but like we said, it's a 150-lap race. They got a long time to get through this race here. They don't want to put themselves in a bad position this early on. We're already over halfway through stage number 1. These trucks are feeling it. Lap times are now in the mid-32-second lap times. Very big difference. Almost 2 full seconds off the fastest laps of the race so far. Drivers are falling back. The track is becoming more difficult to drive. And you're going to kind of see that throughout the race in this sun. That is another factor. We normally run this race at night, but now we're in the sun, the daylight. That's going to make it harder for these trucks to handle. As they get tighter, worry about the tight to loose condition where it gets really, really tight and snaps loose off of 4. We've seen it a couple times already. I expect that to continue throughout the race.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to get interesting all the way to the end of it. 12 to go right here at stage number 1. Matt Cherry still with the lead. You see the lap leaders. Rodriguez, he's only got 1. Matt Cherry, he's led the rest of them here tonight at Vegas. 19 in stage number 1, 12 to go as you see battle still working it out. And for the most part, we're going back single file. Here's Tiny Horse Ryan Johnson trying to slide that number 38 on up through here. He's up 5 spots. He's got Flanagan right there on his inside. Almost gets that wall coming off of turn 4. Riding on board with the Tiny Horse. Florida Cabinet Distributors trying to make it happen any way he can. He's going to dive it down to the inside of Devin Painter in 1.
Yeah, I think what we saw right there was think you're clear, come on down. A little arrow blocking on the front straight. We've seen him do what Tyler was talking about. They get a little bit tight and then it snaps loose. We've seen that a couple times out of Tiny Horse, but he's still able to keep his speed right now. As you see MDW trying the very high side. if they can find some grip up there, they can get some really good runs coming off 3 and 4.
Yeah, they get some hellacious runs right there off of 3 and 4. It's just like you said, and like Tyler said, keeping it out of the fence at all possible. MDW gonna send it. Flanagan 3 wide. Painter up top. They door bang. They door bang some more. Painter gets knocked out of the way. Here comes James Beard with a run on the inside. Devin Painter got used up 9 ways to Sunday over turn number 2, and he's gonna drop like a rock.
Yeah, he's a little bit of the Mark Martin, right? He's not going to go pay him back, but maybe he should here after a while, because that's just cost him about 3 spots. James Beard coming hard, Flanagan coming hard. All these guys are starting to experience a little bit of that tight feeling that you get. And like I said, Ryan Johnson has been wiggling the rear end all over this place, but he's still able to maintain speed right now. It's kind of shocking to me, actually.
I mean, he's trying to hold on to it. 9 to go here in stage number 1. There's the Bulldog, Adam Newton, obviously Tidy Horse. Both of them obviously teammates over there in that Blue Line Racing stable. At least there was for earlier on. But hell, I've been out of the game for so long. Hell, I don't even know what team he's on anymore. He used to be over there with the Blue Line Racing organization, but now going to ride right in behind Adam Newton. Rodriguez sitting there in 3rd. They're trying to make something happen. Damn, Johnson almost smacks the wall. Here comes Flanagan. Flanagan's going to get a run down to the inside of Johnson.
Yeah, Tyler, we saw exactly what you were talking about. He got tucked in too close behind the truck in front in the corner, and up he went, right?
And we just saw it there again with Flanagan. He just got his nose cut off kind of by Newton, not on purpose. Newton just running a normal line, but the way that Flanagan went into the corner immediately shot the racetrack. And then we saw that's the Ryan Johnson machine, and sorry, correction, not the Ryan Johnson machine. I believe that's the green truck at the bottom, Matthew David Wood just ahead of him. You know, they all got really, really tight, and then they got loose. We're seeing Jeff Merck now working his way through some lap traffic. He's multiple laps down to a connection issue. He's trying to get through the field, and this is going to make the race for the lead more difficult. Tristan Bruce now has gotten to the back bumper. Matt Cherry. Watch Cherry try to do that aero blocking we saw earlier.
Oh, yeah, but he's got to watch it right here. Oh, here comes Bruce. Bruce there for a second, was there. Rodriguez gets stuck in the middle. Down on the inside, that is actually Jeff Merck. Merck, 14 laps down, something to miss it with him at the start. Biggest loser out of all of it, down 27 spots, obviously. But there's Matt Cherry riding on board with him. You have Merck to deal with, and Merck obviously is a teammate to Tristan Bruce with Catch Fence Motorsports. Maybe going to play the game, or either that or just run off and leave him. That's exactly what he's doing. Jeff Merck, obviously the fastest 5-lap average just because he's on the fresher tires than the rest of the field. And certainly he's going to be in the lucky dog spot when the caution comes out here in the next 5 laps. But Matt Cherry still sitting there. But, Michael, you got to think for a second, possibly Merck may try to lay back a little bit, try to put the block on Matt Cherry, and try to help Tristan Bruce try to get this stage win.
Well, I think what he's trying to do now is help him with a little bit of draft help. I don't know if it's going to help the tires doing that, but a little bit of drafting help might help the speed of the 3 truck. As you see, Cherry, he's driving off a little bit, but we've seen Bruce kind of maintain this, 1600ths of a second deficit, 14 always. We'll see what it does on the backstretch right here. It should come down with a little bit of that drafting help from Merck.
Yeah, it might end up helping out. Rodriguez sitting there in the 3rd spot. Here comes Bruce down to the inside. He's going to take a shot. Oh, almost door banging. Bruce had to get out of the gas. Here comes Rodriguez. Rodriguez shooting out like a cannon. And look who's behind him. Matthew David Wood up 19 spots. You have got to be kidding me. You cannot stop this kid, Tyler. I mean, you really can't. I don't see it. He may end up getting the damn stage win before it's all said and done.
And I think that's purely a product of the racing, Michael and Jacob. They are racing so hard at the front. It has allowed Matthew David Wood, who's made mistakes, he's fallen, he's lost positions after gaining so many, to get back in this fight for the stage win here with just coming 2 to go. Yeah,
man, I'm telling you, there's the run right here to Matt Cherry. Cherry not even able to put down the block. Already going faster than him. MDW, Matthew David Wood up 21 spots, and he has took it all the way to the front. MDW takes it up front. He's got Cherry behind him, but it's not over yet. Cherry took a shot, looks top, jumps down to the bottom. They're door to door going into 3, Michael.
Yeah, you see a great move by Matthew David there as he came through 1 and 2, just kind of easing out there so that Cherry couldn't pinch him down. Now I'm going to see if he tries to do the exact same thing here, which he's not going to. We'll see if he gets the favor repaid back to him. Move Matthew up the hill just a little bit so he can't get pinched. Too late. He's going to have a tough time catching him now down the back.
Yeah, MDW has pretty much got this stage one in hand unless something happens or Cherry can get a run. It damn sure doesn't look like it's going to happen. Everybody behind him still in that single file formation. Nobody really jumping down trying to make any passes off of turn 4. Stage one will go to MDW. Matthew David Wood. What a drive up 21 spots. Bruce takes one last shot, tries to get the Cherry. They door bang at the line, and they are wrecking behind man Cherry, Tristan Bruce. They end up making contact at the line. Wood gets the stage one win, and I gotta go ahead. I gotta throw it, boys. I gotta throw it right there at the line. I know they're racing for it, but I got a feeling.
We got beef.
And Dean knew it was right on cue throwing it up there, baby. I think there's beef right there.
Oh, that'd be real hard to deal with. You have a great stage like that. I don't know where the contact exactly was, but I don't think Cherry hit anything. I'm just not sure where the positioning is going to be once they sort this whole thing out.
I don't know, man. That right there was interesting. We're going to have to easily take a look at that. Ports Poppers instant replay. You see Bruce diving down. He can go down there on the apron. He just snaps it. Snaps loose down there on the apron, loses it, comes up, gets Cherry, knocks him sideways. Cherry did get the second out of it, and Bruce ended up getting the third. And Cherry tried to lock it down. He doesn't hit nothing at all. But Tyler, I mean, you got to think for a second, though, Tyler, Matt Cherry's got to be going through his head. What the hell was Bruce thinking? I mean, he's got to be thinking that at least.
Yeah, I think he is, but at the same time, you can't really operate in that mindset when you come to these races. And on top of that, right, if you're Tristan Bruce, you got to think, right, the tires are worn, you're going on a very flat portion of the track, it's very, very fast, you just came off the banking, the truck's going to be unsettled, so I think it's a learning opportunity for both of them. I think we'll see how that goes on the rest of the race, but I mean, Michael, you've been in positions like this before where some guy goes below the line trying to make a pass but then loses it. What are you thinking on the receiving end of it in the case of Matt Cherry?
Well, of course, I'd be upset, but if he got somebody that far in, he could have simply kind of upped the track a little bit. I'm not sure if Bruce didn't clip the grass or the paint. It's just odd how it snapped right there. I've done hundreds of laps here. I've never snapped loose in that position. That's just kind of a weird area for that to happen.
I'd get him. That's just me, though. I'd go after him any way that I could. They're taking a pit stop. We're going to take one with them. We'll be back here at Las Vegas. NASRA 360 Racing Network 220. We're back right after this. We're back here at Las Vegas. Get the stage one winner, Matthew David Wood, who pretty much hit the nitrous button or put in one hell of a cheat code, go up 21 spots from the start of stage one. Come up here and win it. Wood, first off, what cheat code did you put in, and how's the track feeling out there?
First question, Lightning McQueen. Second question, it's hot, it's boiling. I'm melting personally, but it's Las Vegas. I expected that. It feels a lot better than I thought it would. The truck just kind of feels, compared to other times we've been here, the only way I can describe it is more floaty. It's strange to me, but I don't know. I was able to find clean air and drive my way up through the field, and a lot of people made contact as I got to them. So I don't know if I'm just Dale Earnhardt and the Intimidator or what, but.
Well, Michael, you got anything?
I was saying that could be. Maybe you're just intimidating to him with the 7 wins thus far. But I like your strategy. I'll try to get quicker. I notice you're way up high, trying to stay in the clean air, probably trying to save a little extra tire. That seems to be paying dividends. If it's not loose up there or your tires are good, are you just going to stay kind of up there for the most part and do what you can?
we'll see what happens. We'll see where everybody's at, because now I'm in clean air, or at least cleaner air, so it's going to be a completely different ball game with tires for me now. So we'll see. We'll see how the clean air affects the tires and where I'm going to go.
All righty, MDW Matthew David Wood, buddy. We'll let you get back to it.
All right, God bless y'all. Thank you.
That was MDW Matthew David Wood, stage 1 winner. Getting ready to get it lined back up. Wood, Bruce, 2 of the young guns. I've talked about them before here on the Friday Night Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series. Green flag, Glass Mechanic, stage number 2. Obviously presented by the Glass Mechanic. Hit the glass, dig right on cue. Wood gonna dive it on out. Get that clean air. Behind him, Adam Newton, Tristan Bruce, Flanagan, Johnson, the top 5 working their way off of turn number 2.
Yeah, I like the Bulldog right here. He's made his way right to the front. Good clean air. Trying to catch a little draft off of MDW along with Tristan there. We'll see if these guys have any beef left, because I would expect we'll see Cherry back there pretty quick with the pace he had. But as for now, Flanagan, Freeman doing everything they can just to keep up with everybody right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tyler Detmer just joining us back up here in the booth. Tyler, you went down, you was talking to some of the drivers, trying to get an idea of what was going on. What did you find out?
Yeah, and I think it's just like I predicted and just like we were seeing on the track. A lot of the drivers say, yeah, it's extremely tight, and then it just snaps loose off the corner. And we're seeing that lap in, lap out, whether it's early on the run or late on the run. We're seeing that tight to loose condition. The drivers have said they would much rather be leading the race. They think they can control it better, be able to control the air of the guy behind them, block them, cut the air off their nose. And talking with Tristan Bruce a little bit, he said, yeah, he just didn't expect the amount of bumps there on the bottom, and it hit a bump bad, and it got really, really loose. But he's trying not to, run him over anymore, because they've had 2 run trouble down the backstretch. Rodriguez is around.
Whoa, Josh Rodriguez going around was one of the guys up there at the front of the field at the end of stage 1. He ends up going for a spin, comes down and hits the inside retaining wall. Doesn't look like a whole lot of damage. We're checking out Pulse Popper's instant replay, see what happens. You got Pater right there with him. 83 back there with him as well. Les Luke Smith, Kermit the Frog. And there was contact. Got him right in the right rear, and game over from that point, Michael.
Yeah, it looked like he got a little loose coming out of 2 right there. Kind of checked up the 83, and then the 83 kind of didn't know where to go. Looked like he wanted to go high, and then bam, little contact around. He goes, I don't think it's, fatal injuries on the truck. We just have to see if the aerial package is messed up.
There you see Rodriguez working his way, trying to get it lined back up. Always thank you very much to Pulse Poppers, one of the great sponsors here with the North American Sim Racing Association. And that's going to maybe, Tyler, what do you think? Maybe throw a wrench into this one right here with, granted, they just went down, they just got tires, but maybe gas, or just, you think everybody just says, screw it, we're just going to stay out at this point?
I think everyone's going to stay out. I talked to a couple of the drivers and crew chiefs. They say if fuel runs about 45 to 52 laps, you got maybe a lap on these tires. Lap and a half. You see a driver further on back in the field. He's coming down pit lane. That's Dustin Scruggs. He is in. I think you'll see a couple guys in the back maybe just top off with fuel to hope for a shorter pit stop down the road, but I don't think you're going to see any tire changes. It doesn't really make much sense. You haven't gotten enough laps on these. And also with the caution laps, right, you're going to save a tremendous amount of tire that these drivers are going to very much appreciate later on in the race.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
there you see. Go ahead, Michael.
I believe when we go back, we'll have, 35 laps to go in this. I think this is a good move for the guys in the back. Of course, I don't know exactly how many laps you can run. I'm going to say you could, no problem, but apparently Scruggs got a little bit of problems going on right here, or he got a penalty.
Yeah, Scruggs may have some damage repair. It was a 23-second stop here on pit road. I'm going to see if I can talk with the crew chief of the number 11 machine and get some more info for you guys up in the booth.
Sounds like a plan on that one. We'll see what we got going on. One thing I did see right there, Michael, I just saw it a second ago, obviously, with Hunt Wigginton. Beautiful paint scheme. And, Michael, we've talked about this before. I've said it before, on this broadcast and other broadcasts is the paint schemes. And, one thing, that this right here stands or is separate from other sim racing deals that's out there is that the what you can see as far as these paint schemes and everybody kind of put whatever they want to on the truck. You got funny stuff, you got real stuff, memorial stuff. Just that's one thing I love about iRacing is you can basically paint your truck, car, whatever the hell you're driving, however you want to, and express yourself. In any way, shape, fashion, or form. I mean, it's awesome stuff, honestly, Michael. I love it.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things about iRacing. You pay for a little Photoshop, you throw the truck in there, and you can do anything from chrome to matte finishes. You can do whatever you want. It's a really fun part of being a part of the iRacing community.
Yeah, I mean, any type of sponsor you want, all the way from, Coca-Cola to Jack Daniels to Sports Illustrated to Playboy. Whatever you can get on your truck, you can make it happen. Tyler, what'd you come up with?
Yeah, Dustin Scruggs did have a little bit of damage. He said about 20 to 30 seconds of light cosmetic damage due to getting in the wall at one point or getting a bump from someone. It's all repaired now. We expect him to be fine. Minimal damage, so I don't expect a lot of issues with that number 11 machine, but we'll see how it plays out. The aero sensitivity of these trucks, how tight they get in dirty air, you really don't want to mess up the truck at all, Michael.
No, 100%. We've seen that several times. As a matter of fact, I believe the incident was just the thing you were talking about. He pushed up, got just a little loose, checked up the guys behind him, and the next thing you know, we're having an incident. So we'll put that in the pocket and see how many more times we get that.
Yeah, put that one in the safe pocket as here we go once again. Get ready for the restart. Wood, John Freeman, 42 up here. Let's not keep our eyes off of this 42 right here. He's up 21 spots from the start of the race as well. He's one of the biggest movers, more or less matching Wood. Not anymore. Now Wood's got the advantage on him, so to speak. Is Flanagan to dive down to the inside? Nope. Here comes Freeman. He's going to battle back. And right behind him, Raul Meza at 37 trying to make a little headway as well.
Yeah, I love seeing Raul up there. He's one of our longtime, matter of fact, from the first season on, he has been here. And he has literally fought his way to get better and better. I love seeing it. And if you're in his area, he is your Serve Pro distributor in his area. Look him up somewhere around Los Angeles, California, I believe, and he'll take care of you.
Yeah, that's literally all the way over there on the other side of the United States. I don't know if I can do that, but hell, there might be some around here in the North Georgia area. I may end up having to check it out. Yeah, dude, it ain't that far. Yeah, 2-hour drive from Georgia to California. Yeah, you ain't kidding. Meza down on that inside, trying to slide up through here. James Beard right there in the mix as well as a tiny horse. Ryan Johnson, Tristan Bruce actually back there in that fifth spot. Front three trying to gang up and get away, so to speak. Flanagan trying to make it happen as well. Here comes John Freeman making another run, Michael. Right up on the back door of MDW, Matthew David Wood.
Yeah, let's see what Freeman does. Like Dittman said a while ago, Tyler, he try to stay out of the wake of the 21. Keep as much clean air as you can on the front of this truck, and he's making it look real pretty right now. Get down here in the bumps. We'll see how he negotiates them, see if he can get himself a lead going on the back strips. Tyler, you've talked to the drivers. Everything you've said is just about perfect for this place. You even see Matthew getting a little loose right there. What can these guys do on a little bit of a longer run right here just to manage that same situation? Is it simply clean air dominates, or do we need a little more draft just to keep a little more pace in our truck going down the back?
It's a mix of both, right? But I think one thing that people forget about these trucks, and actually in a lot of race cars, is when you're in dirty air, you can surprisingly get a decent amount of rotation in the truck by just lifting off the throttle. Flipping the throttle a little bit will help settle the nose down, and you'll get more turning. Now, this is at the cost of wearing out the right front over a long run, but if the tires are already worn, you just need more pressure on that right front. And it's worth it. Maybe not early on. I'd focus more on clean air, but later on in the run, give it a little bit of lift there in 3 and 4. Lift earlier than you think you need to, get that early rotation started, and the dirty air has less effect on the truck.
And Tyler, I'll ask you another thing on this one as well, because obviously we know these guys running on a fixed setup. And I know that, well, you could explain it to everybody better, what they can adjust before they get into the race and what they can adjust when they're into the race. How can that work out to their advantage, even with the aero and everything else that they've got going on?
Yeah, so before you load into the truck for the race, you can still adjust your steering offset and your steering ratio, right? The steering ratio being how much of the angle in the wheel is compared to how much the tire is actually turning in. Versus steering offset is where is the center point of the wheel compared to where the center of the tires. Are they actually vertical? Like, are the tires straight? You have a 0 offset, or are the tires turned in versus out when the wheel is centered? Steering offset will help you in some of the corners, but also make you put in less steering input. Just inherently does. If the wheels are already slightly to the left, then you're not going to have to turn as much to the left, but you're going to have to counter steer on the straightaways. Steering ratio. Meanwhile, if you have a higher ratio, like 12, 16, 16 to 1 is normally what I would run no matter what track I was at. It means I put in more amount of steering wheel input for less wheel input. Now that will help you save tires because you can be a little bit more consistent with your steering wheel input, but at the same time, it makes it a lot harder to catch a slide if you do get sideways. And then once you're in the truck, in the session, you can also adjust this outside the session too. You can adjust your brake bias, right? You push it more forward, it's gonna, keep you more stable under braking, but increases your stopping speed. If you push it more to the back, it's gonna make you a little bit more unstable, but you'll slow down quicker. But if you bring that brake bias back and tap the brakes, it'll actually rotate the truck because you have more brakes in the rear, and it'll kind of get you in a mini slide. You can use that to your advantage in the long run where you're not getting enough rotation out of the truck. I always bring my brake bias back at least 2.5% from what the base setup is, sometimes even more, personal preference. But there's a couple of tools the drivers can use before the session. The only thing they can adjust in session is that brake bias.
Yeah, you may have to go over that one more time. I was over here trying to write that down to kind of help myself out anyway. When we come to Vegas, I always have sucked here. When we ended up racing here in NASRA or just in general, I've always kind of sucked here. I love this place, but it's never been really good to me. Lady Luck never has. And Lady Luck not really helping Raul Meza right here with this blinking going on, Michael. Obviously we've seen it time and time again, with the blinking issues of, it's up to the race director's discretion. And there has been certain times where people has got busted and got sent down to the pits because of internet issues. So that's something that we're really going to have to keep an eye on as well.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot more scary than being right behind a guy and they disappear and you have no idea where they are, and then they just reappear. They may reappear right in the middle of your truck, and that's the end of your day. So, yeah, the discretion of the race director is, they got to really kind of watch that. They'll start appearing more and more. And we see guys starting to get a little bit loose coming off these corners about the same time as last time. About 15 laps in, we start seeing the handling of these trucks go away.
Yeah, they're going away in a hurry. As you see Cody Knott right here, sitting back in the 20th spot, trying to work his way, get back into it, I guess you could say. He's already down 4 spots, right in behind the 52. That's Brandon Schumann right in front of him with Premier Racing Setups, another great sponsor here with the North American Sim Racing Association. And Tyler, for the most part, it kind of seems like everybody, I know everybody's trying to get the clean air, but for the most part, it kind of seems like everybody just said, screw it, we're just going to ride single file. Honestly, it kind of looks like a Talladega race where everybody just wants to just ride around and just wait.
Well, I don't know how many NASRA Talladega races you've seen, but that has never happened here. Maybe in the real world with Dale Jr., the Pied Piper, yeah, at the helm, yes, the surround ride. But, John Freeman is closed up a little bit to MDW. He lost a little bit there on the front straightaway, but he started to close and trying to look for a way around. But if those two get to racing, I'm telling you right now, this pack is going to come back together, and we're going to see guys get side by side because the runs are just going to be so large when two trucks get side by side. They go so much slower that guys are going to have a hard time not trying to take advantage of it because it's probably one of the few chances they get with how much the tire wear is.
Yeah, absolutely. He's riding on board with Mr. Sacco. Nick Sacco already up 12 spots. Matthew Montgomery, that is, right in front of him. He's up into the top 10. Remember stage points? Something all these drivers is really going to have to be working for and obviously trying to help themselves when it gets playoff time. You see Tristan Bruce going after Flanagan. Battle for 4th going on, and John Freeman still playing a little worry game with MDW. Matthew David Wood right there in front of him, and Freeman damn near following him going into turn number 3. Both of them taking up on the top side. Freeman didn't go down to the inside. That's going to open the door for the Bulldog Adam Newton to slide down and maybe make a pass or at least try to make a run on him, but not able to do it. Freeman gets the draft, able to get away from Adam Newton. Now he's going to take the top side over him 1 and 2.
Well, Jake, I mean, let's look at this. Wouldn't you want to follow the 7-time winner so far? I think that's what Freeman's thinking. He's trying to save some tire, but also learn a little something off of MDW. Like you said, it does open up the bottom for the Bulldog and Flanagan, but if he gets to him, I don't know what he'll do to him. Never mind, folks. We just had a little inside joke there. What he may do before he's there.
Tyler, go ahead. I can't talk. Go ahead, Tyler. It's got me messed up now. Oh, Lord.
As we're watching this race, right, I want to keep a couple things pointed out here. We're watching this big group kind of separate. We see the two leaders now. We see John Freeman try the bottom here, see if he can get maybe up to the 21, maybe a little bit of a side draft down the front straightaway. Not close enough to get it to work, but as long as Newton and Flanagan keep running side by side, these front two, if they run clean, they could pull away. We're already seeing gaps form between 6th and 7th because 7th and 8th are side by side. You have to be able to take advantage of these gaps, and these drivers are trying to manage that. But the more and more you run side by side, the more and more you're going to allow the guys behind you to catch up. So they need to be very mindful of that as we're coming to, call it 17 laps left in the stage.
Yeah, 17 laps left right there. You see Flanagan now. He's going after the Bulldogs. They're going to go for that third spot. Wood still trying to hold on to the lead. He's got the cleanest air out of everybody in the field. Why? Because he's still up front. MDW, Matthew David Wood, still leads it. Behind him, it's a straight-up hornet's nest back here. Literally, you got Newton, you got Flanagan, you got Tristan Bruce riding on board with him. And Bruce actually snapping loose right there off of turn number 2. James Beard going to slide by him, or at least for the most part at this point, will go by him. Tiny Horse Rod Johnson will go by him. Little slip right there off of turn 2 is going to cost Tristan Bruce a couple of spots.
Yeah, that's all it takes here. If you do a little lift when you don't want to and you're in a hornet's nest, like Jake said, they're going to go right on by you. I really, really prefer this high line. The more I watch it, I don't know if the super high line can catch MDW, but it seems to prevail the first stage, and we're starting to see it now. Every time they give side by side, the outside lane just seems to, pull away down the backstretch. And Tyler, like you said, 1,000 times, it's kind of where your truck works, I understand, but this high line seems to really be working.
Yeah, and I think the drivers are going to learn that more and more. What's going to happen is if everyone migrates to the high line, you're going to find it really difficult to pass. And these drivers are going to have to make passes earlier on in runs, and I think you're going to start seeing desperation creep in stage 3 because drivers are worried if it gets spread out like it is right now, they're not going to be able to make those moves later on in the run unless someone makes a lot of mistakes or someone burns their tires out too early. We're seeing the field, even though they're more back to single file, it's about more of an 8 or 9 truck group now, kind of coming back together.
Yeah, they are trying to make it their way to get back to it with Wood and Freeman still holding on, lead 14 to go. You see Tristan Bruce tried to get back at it. You see the last time that everybody pitted, that was 29 laps ago. So obviously everybody going to try to ride it out and at least get to the end of stage 2, and then that's when obviously get the 4 fresh tires, and then that's when everything is really, I guess you could say it will hit the fan, which we've heard about it time and time again, Michael, out there in the live chat where everybody says stage 3 is usually when all the chaos happens. But Flanagan tried to make a little chaos right here in stage 2, trying to get up on the back door of Adam Newton, maybe bump track, maybe try to get it going. John Freeman making some chaos, almost smacked the wall as well.
Yeah, nobody says you can't bump draft on a 1.5-mile track. This is one of those where you're able to a lot, and honestly, folks, you just don't see a lot of it. There's a lot of that as you go back in the pack, trying to get everybody to the front. These 3 up front right here, I think if they could single out a little bit, they could catch MDW, but they're racing so hard, I don't think they will. They simply need to get a little more organized on what they're doing and try to pull up on the bumper of MDW.
Yeah, they got to figure something out right here because Wood actually starting to grow a little gap right here, about a half a second. It ain't much, but it's something to have to, deal with, and, for these other drivers to have to deal with as well. You see Flanagan trying to get back down on the inside. Tyler, I was going to ask you this a while ago, but I do want to ask you this as well, for the fans out there that are listed. You mentioned up there on that high side lane, me, you, Michael, we've raced. Dean obviously has it because he'll never get a wheel and some pedals and everything else. But that's beside the point. This high side line, it's like a high risk, high reward high risk, high reward kind of deal up here on this outside lane. What makes it so much a high risk, high reward deal?
And a lot of it has to do with the risk being if you get into that wall, you're going to get stuck to it and then you're not going to be able to get off of it, especially at a track like Las Vegas. The reward being the amount of momentum you can keep in that. Oh, big hit there into the wall. That's 25 of James Beard. Looked like he tried to come up in front of someone, wasn't cleared, and just smacked the right front nose. That's probably going to be some significant right front damage just based on being at the fastest point of the track. I think he's going to be hurting here. But getting back to the high line, right, you have such a great run off the corner. The momentum stays in the truck. You see the 25 falling back like a rock. But if you get in that wall, one, you can do a lot of damage to the right side of that truck, which is a super important aero side of the truck because it's what keeps your downforce. You keep the back end of the truck stable. But if you rip it, you have that air cushion. If it actually sets between the truck and the wall, you can run very stable up there and absolutely keep the pedal floored. There's no lifting there, but you see James Beard, he's having to lift a lot because he has so much right front damage. You see John Freeman's in the wall now in the outside lane. He's scraped it now. Adam Newton's going to get a run towards him. You can do it once or twice and get away with it. You can't do it a lot.
Damn, door banging, wall hitting, you getting it all here tonight at Vegas with 8 to go. Steve, 2% by the glass mechanic. You see, or you hear the glass breaking. I got a bad feeling, Michael. We're probably going to hear a lot more glass breaking with some of this action that we're seeing tonight. The action's just only going to get more and more and more intense as we get closer to that 150 lap mark.
No, I believe that 100%. There's guys back in the field. They know they've got a little more speed, but their deal is they're going to have to take advantage of it on restarts, and we're not getting a lot of restarts right now, so they can't push the issue. They can save tire all they want. They're not able to gain at this point, so at the beginning of the next stage, these faster guys, if they're holding anything back in the back right there, they're going to have to let it go. And these guys in the front, as I said, they're getting a little more organized, but you can see Matthew David Wood, he's putting half a tenth, a lap on everybody, whatever he's got figured out, folks. Yeah, I couldn't tell you, but this man is simply dominant.
Simply dominant indeed. Is Wood out now almost to a second with Freeman getting up into the wall, and it's still the battle for thirds going on with obviously Adam Newton, and you got Flanagan and Johnson right here smack dab in the middle of it as well. Is Johnson going to fall down to the inside, maybe go after Flanagan? No, he'll jump back up, get up in behind the Bulldog. Adam Newton almost ended up squeezing him up into the wall, going into turn 3. Freeman up into the wall almost again, going through 3 and 4.
Oh, wow. That was almost a mess right there with the 31 Flanagan. He's very, very loose. That's a good catch right there. These trucks also do another thing, folks, with the aero. When you get too close side by side, they can suck the rear end right around, and that's the end of your day, and that's almost what happened to Flanagan right there.
I'm telling you, I mean, that is just crazy. And, you mentioned it right there with just how, the rear end can kind of get sucked around. I mean, just, Tyler, I know you've been talking about it this whole time about the aero and everything else. How damn difficult is it with these trucks? For the fans at home, just how difficult is it? I mean, how much of this is an aero game as opposed to, driving, skill and everything? I mean, which one's the main factor at all this?
It's both. I think the trucks, very similar to the next-gen car, there is about a 50-50 between driver skill and your ability to manage air. Versus the Xfinity car, the air factor does go away quite a bit. It's probably more like a 70-30 skill to your ability to manipulate the air and handle, dirty air. But here at the trucks, there's not a lot of downforce in these trucks. There's a lot of torque. There's not a lot of weight either. So when the lights get, when the rears get light because of low fuel, Newton and Freeman.
Damn, Adam Newton going around right here at the end of stage number 2, presented by the Glass Mechanic. John Freeman, Adam Newton, they tangle a little bit. You see the glass breaking. Michael, we were talking about it a minute ago. That glass was going to break sooner or damn later, and yes, it did. Yeah, I know we're at the end of stage 2 presented by the Glass Mechanic, but that glass was going to break sooner or later. We see it right here, Pulse Popper, instant replay. Walk us through it, Michael.
Like you see Newton, he's had a good run on the bottom the whole night, but I think this is just a clear, not clear, right? I was clear when I looked up, and then I wasn't. He not much more room there. You see Freeman, he's already in the wall, and then he gets squeezed up a little more, and then Newton goes around. Good job by everybody else to kind of avoid it, but this is that same damage we basically saw with the James Beard machine. This is going to be hard to come back from unless he can get 2 or 3 stops together to try to do a little something. He may also have, a toe link broke in the front or a tie rod, whatever you want to call it. No, that could be catastrophic for his day.
Yeah, I mean, and folks also remember there is no fast repairs here at NASRA. We don't roll with fast repairs. It's about the realistic way that you can look at it for sim racing. Once again, you see Freeman, he got up under the wall. Newton took a shot, dove it down to the inside, and damn, I mean, honestly, Newton right there looked like he was just trying to close off the hole. Freeman shot up through there, had the run, and just game over after that. But certainly will end up ending the stage, at least for the most part. But here's the thing. John Freeman's going to stay out. Remember, Tyler, it's at the end of the lap. We're on lap 75. It's at the end of lap 75 is when you'll end up getting the stage points and everything else. So Freeman going to stay out right here, gamble, and put himself in a bad spot, more or less. But Johnson's going to beat Wood off of pit road, but John Freeman will come back around right here. He's going to win stage number 2.
Assuming he does not pit here this time by and gets to the line first, he will be the winner of stage number 2, which is huge, right? That's that playoff point. It's the 10 stage points. So whatever happens at the end of this lap is what's going to determine your stage 2 winner. It's a smart call by Freeman if you want to get the points, but it is definitely going to hamper his race results.
Yeah, that's going to put him at the back of the field when they come back through. But if he's someone that needs the points, all for it. But it's definitely going to put him toward the back of the field if he doesn't pit, which he is not going to do. So he's going to win the stage and then probably cycle around with Jeff Merck being the only person behind him. I think that's the only person that's not on a lead lap. So he's going to start at the tail of the field, but it'll put him 2 laps better for fuel, which over 75 laps, I don't know what that's going to do.
Yeah, unfortunate right there. But, I mean, hey, you got to gamble. Sometimes you gamble. Obviously, here at Sin City, that's when you end up making the gamble as you see John Freeman. We'll pull him up here for a quick chat over there with the Wilman crew. Bring him up here for a quick chat. John Freeman!
Whoa.
First, take a big step back and literally fuck your own face!
Oh, God. That's one of those guys.
My apologies.
Is he out of fuel right here? What is the deal
on that one? Had opportunity on that one right there. Sorry for that, folks. I know sometimes we use a little bit of language, but we never really take it that far. Ours is for entertainment, so we're sorry about that. So he just more or less lost his interview privileges, I guess you could say. But, I mean, hey, good on John Freeman on that one. I will say this. Dean, if you want to get the board going on over there on the side. We got beef. Fix your soundboard before you know that you're going to come in here and get interviewed. Even if you don't know that you're going to get interviewed, fix your damn soundboard. Don't have that kind of stuff on here knowing that you're going to come on a public broadcast and have issues like that. But Freeman's going to go all the way to the tail end out of it. And Ryan Johnson, the tiny horse,
still not pitting
at the front. He's not pitting, so I don't know what's going to happen on that one. But here we go, tiny horse in Wood. They was the ones that raced off of pit road. They will take the green flag. And now it's time for stage 3, folks. Like we've heard out there in the broadcast chat before, this is when it matters. And who is going to win it here in Sin City? They're off turn 2. It's Johnson and Wood.
Yeah, Tiny Horse has been up there all day. I want to see what he can do with some little bit of clean air. See if he can put some pressure to MDW. I think he'll get him here for a little bit, running the bottom with the new tires. He'll get, once he gets out of 1 and 2, if he can stay door to door, I think he'll pull out on the backstretch with the lead here.
Yeah, it looks like he may be able to do it. They're too wide behind him. You got Flanagan, you got Tristan Bruce, then you got Jonathan Cofield. Where the hell did he come from? Jonathan, haven't talked about him all race long. Cofield now up here in the 58. got the Pro-Fit with a comb on it. I'm not 100% what the whole deal is with the Pro-Fit and the comb. I don't know about that one. I'll have to holler at him on that one. But Jonathan Cofield up 19 spots up here trying to mix it up. He's got Painter right there racing it out with him. And Painter's going to slide around on the outside. And now Wood and Johnson, they lead this train here at Vegas with 72 laps to go.
I'll tell you what, folks, if you're watching close right there, we were in car with Cofield and we saw Painter go around the outside. He was loose right there. His nose was pointed in. That's how hard it is to feel that when you're in the truck. He literally was a little sideways, but lost momentum. Painter took it right by him. That's how hard it is to feel when you slide.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big deal out of it. I mean, just all that sliding and everything else. Here at Las Vegas, there is Flanagan riding into third spots, catching up on the lap truck of obviously James Beard. And Tyler, I know you may have some beef on this one, but I will ask. When you get yourself in a situation right here with lap traffic, which obviously James Beard, he's doing what we would like to call showing us where you're running. What's it like when you get yourself in a situation where you're following a driver where he doesn't show you where you're driving? What's the mindset going through on that? I just want to get you fired up.
Yeah, you just have to expect the unpredictable with these drivers sometimes. It's when you're getting around lap traffic. You have to be more patient and more risk averse, and it's very frustrating, especially if you're leading a race trying to get through some of this traffic because you just don't know what they're going to do. And that can be a very scary thought, especially at some of these tracks where it's such high speed, such high closing rates, like Las Vegas, when you have a big train of drafting trucks and one guy by himself. I did speak with Adam Newton there during the stage break. He said, yeah, he thought he was clear. It wasn't clear. Thought he was maybe going to get the guy to lift, but did not. He said he had about 6 minutes of damage, so that truck's probably not going to be competing for a win the rest of the night. You'll see very tight racing throughout the rest of the field.
Very tight racing as you see Adam Newton, obviously the leader in the wrench wranglers. Blanchard right there sitting in the second spot. Cofield got about 25 seconds, but he's up here trying to mix it up here at the front. You saw Dustin Scruggs have his 4 seconds of issues with Kermit Fry, Luke Smith. A lot of wrench wranglers here in Vegas here tonight, Michael. And, I hate to say it, but as hard as they're racing, as close as they're racing, Johnson getting knocked around sideways. They door bang behind them. Bevan, or is that Bevan? Yes, Isaac Bevan, Dustin Scruggs. He's going to slide up, almost wreck him again. I got a feeling we're going to have more people up there at the top of this thing for the wrench wranglers before it's all said and done.
No, 100%. I think we're going to see a big one at some point. These guys are, they're going hard. I have not raced with a lot of these new aero packages too much, but it must be just a fight for these guys. Because normally, back in the day, you could run 20 laps here and never lift. Never had to. But you can see right now, these guys are lifting, saving tires. It must be quite a challenge for these guys right now.
Yeah, you mentioned that right there, with being able to race here for 20 straight laps and not having to lift. That was actually what I was worth it here. But now that kind of package went out the door, now I suck here. So, that's how it is. I'm always good when you're mashing the gas and you ain't got to worry about nothing. You're trying to dodge wrecks. Might be why I'm good and why I love super speedways. But I got a feeling you see them packed up like this, folks. Odds are, Michael, like we were talking about with the big one, a good possibility everybody packed up like this. One little slip. We've already seen guys get loose, slide up, get tight, slide up, almost get into each other. We saw door banging, people almost getting hooked. It's going to happen. Honestly, I'm about to call it at this point. We're going to probably end up having a big one. It's just a matter of when at this point.
Yeah, if they stay together like this, somebody's going to push up off of 2. 2 is usually the deadly spot here, especially early in the runs. 2, I don't understand the difference in the track, I guess, but 2 is so much tighter off of the apex than 3 and 4. That's where you'll normally see the trouble.
Absolutely. You see Montgomery right there, the 24, working his way around Matt Cherry right there in the middle of it all as well. And Matt Cherry trying to slide up here and make something happen. There's John Freeman working his way down pit road. Remember, he stayed out to get the stage 2 win. Now he's at he's at a bad spot. And Tyler, we talked about it. You got to gamble. You're in Vegas. go ahead. I mean, you got to gamble. You got to take a shot. He pretty much gambled now. He has got to hope and pray that something will happen to help himself, because if it doesn't now, he's not the first one lap down. Newton and Beard, they've shot around him, so now he's in a very, very bad spot out of all this.
Yeah, what he's looking for here is for this run to go as long as possible. Wait maybe for the green flag cycle for these other drivers in about, call it 30, 35 laps, and get a caution before he has to pit in the next 10 laps after that, right? We expect about 45 to 52 on a run. He can't make it to the end on pitting at lap 86 of a 150 race, but he needs enough time to at least get by Beard and Newton, who are significantly slower. They're not with the lead draft. So he does have a chance here to just chase down those two on speed alone, because damage to the 19 and 25 machines, but he kind of wants to run green here for at least a significant amount of time to make everyone have to think about tires and other strategy.
All that strategy. I hate strategy sometimes. I really do. And Tiny Horse actually slid back a little bit. Actually, he's going to move up a spot, go right around Brandon Broadfoot, who's actually starting to make his way back up through here. And Johnson actually was one of them that started out. I mean, he was up there with Wood, literally actually beat him off of pit road to start stage number 3. And Johnson actually has kind of fell back all the way to the 10th spot. Tyler, I'll bring you in one more time for this right here. What do you think the game plan is for the Tiny Horse, Ryan Johnson? You think maybe he's just kind of riding, just taking his time, trying to save his stuff?
I mean, he can try. They're not going to make it to the end. I don't really understand. I think you have to go hard here and I think you just split this final stage in 2, Michael and Jacob. I think you split the final stage in 2, run hard for 30, 35 laps, come in, get your tires with 30, 35 to go, use the fresh rubber. Don't try to run this thing long. Just split it in half. It'll be more beneficial. You'll be able to get more lap time out of it. I mean, Michael, that's what I would do in this situation. I know some people like to gamble, but when you're at Las Vegas, there's a very dangerous number, and it's lucky number 7. It's actually pretty bad if you're playing the craps table, so I think these drivers got to be a little bit worried about someone rolling a 7.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Tyler. The problem, I would do the same thing you're saying. I would split it in half. You know what you got for balance and tires at this point. So play some strategy, but not really play strategy, right? Do the smart thing, 35 laps or so. Put some tires on this thing and then go for it. I mean, I think if you're laying back at this point, you're just costing yourself time lap after lap.
Yeah, you don't want to end up doing that. Don't roll the 7, but you want to play the field and roll a 12. That way you can try to triple up and get the win, or roll an 11. But well, I mean, hell, Dean. I mean, if you play the field, you want 12 because you triple up. At least that is in North Carolina. But here we go with Johnson trying to work his way back up here. You got Meza right there beside of him. They're battling it out. Rodriguez right in front of them. Just some of the battles that we're seeing here tonight. I mean, just hard racing. There you see Jeff Merck. Honestly, he looks like he is on a Sunday drive. Look at him. He's laughing. He's carrying on. He's 29th place. He's what, 12 laps down? He didn't care at this point. I mean, I think he's just riding around just here just for the start, more or less. That, and Michael, there's plenty of time for something to pop off. Him being 12 laps down, something could pop off. You could have that big one we were talking about where he may end up getting a couple spots out of it.
Yeah, he could if someone, they have to go out here a little bit early, but you guys are talking about shooting craps. And when I go to Vegas, we're going to play the roulette table, and I believe I would throw my money on a 21 every time we come here right now.
We don't like triple zeros. We don't like those. We don't like the zero. We don't like them green zeros. They've screwed me out of a lot of money. I would tell you that, a lot of money. But I mean, Michael, I will say this. I agree with you. Put your money on the 21 because it seems like not only in Vegas, it just seems like every single race you see Wood up here at the front. And it's something I mentioned earlier today. I was talking to some guys about this right here, about MDW, Matthew David Wood. Just what he can accomplish here on the Friday Night Series that he's never done, and that's win a championship. And he's come so close. He's been dominant like he's been this season. is this going to be the season where he finally gets that trophy and finally gets that championship? I'll say this is the most dominant that I've seen him so far. It's worth 3 wide, almost door banging off turn 2.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't get a championship this year, I don't know when he's going to. I'm not sure anyone can compete with him. I know when we started this league, when me and Brady started this, there was a young man named Garrett Maines in our league. And folks, if you haven't seen Garrett Maines run, he was on the Coca-Cola series, the actual pro series in iRacing. I don't know if anybody has watched it, but this young man right here could compete with him any day of the week. I don't think there's any question. I think that should be his goal right now. But in my mind, I feel like he enjoys road racing more than he even. I think he just does this because he likes to do it. I think his real competitive spirit is in road racing. I'd have to bring that up to him today to find out.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious on that one if there actually is a pro series in road racing.
There's a few different ones out there. Yeah, they have a couple of IndyCar series. They have a couple of GT series. They have a couple of Formula series throughout. But, I mean, he's just such a multi-talented driver. He's getting everything he gets in. Reminds me a lot of a young Tony Stewart, a young, A.J. Foyt kind of talent. But in the sim world, it doesn't matter what he's driving. He's extremely good at it. In my opinion, a young Mario Andretti, the 3 drivers who really paved the way and were way better than everyone else in multiple different disciplines, not just 2, right? We already know guys who are good at 2 different disciplines. We have the Kyle Larsons, the Christopher Bells who are good on dirt and on asphalt ovals. But those guys pale in comparison to what, Stewart, Andretti, and Foyt could do in road racing. As we talk about road racing, 6 Hours of Le Mans endurance event coming up soon, gentlemen.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. Obviously, with the 6 Hours of Le Mans, that's going to be a long one. Very long one. Why? Because it's going to be a 6-hour race. Yeah, I'm right. It's going to be an absolute long one. And I mean, you still got a chance to sign up to get yourself lined up. To get yourself in it. So make sure that you get what you can. Get yourself there. And looking right now, Dean, when exactly is this event supposed to be at? That's what I'm looking over here. I'm trying to find where the hell it actually is. But Joshua Suss sent us that logo. So get with us. We'll get you the Discord or get with Brady and Cody if you want to try to get into the 6 Hours of Le Mans. They'll send you the QR code. If you already in the NASRA special events, then you ain't got nothing to worry about. You're already in it.
Oh, there's some tight racing back here, Jake. What are we running in the Le Mans? Is that GT3s?
GT3 and GTP.
That would be quite. I may have to find out about that. As we see right now, though, we got Matt Cherry. He's showing some really good speed right now, guys. He just keeps getting run after run after run. I think before long, he's going to take care of Scruggs here, and then he's going to be right up the rear end of Devin Painter. And we'll see what he can do after he can get a little more clean air out of this situation.
March 7th, yeah.
Yeah, you're very good. Yep. March 7th. Okay, that's when that race will be, March the 7th. So bring you a whole lot of liquor or beer or whatever that you got to be able to make it through it.
We're going to be racing in France. It's got to be champagne and wine. Come on.
Oh, no.
I ain't doing that. I might do wine, but we ain't doing no France. God almighty.
I'll take champagne over wine any day.
I'll just stick to my liquor. That's what I'll do. I'll just stick to my liquor and my beer. I'll do that as well. All that with
you think they let us do the Crown Maple or Apple? I think that's good over in France.
I'm sure they got it over there.
Sure.
Oh, Lord. We already went off the rails, already talking about liquor and everything. Yeah, we're gone. We're talking about liquor and beer and everything else. We'll end up talking about cigars before it's all said and done. But that's why, Devin Painter. Tiny
what's in the wall? Wood hit the wall there off of 2. Wood just hit the wall. David Flanagan to the inside.
Uh-oh. There comes David Flanagan down to the inside. He's going to take a shot down to the inside. Wood made a mistake. That may be game over for him, but Wood tried to gets into him. Into the wall goes Flanagan. Wood took a shot. He got in the back of him, set him up against the wall. Now Wood's going to have to back away. Oh, baby, this sucker ain't over yet right here, Michael. This sucker is not over by a long shot.
No, that's my luck in a nutshell right there. I want to put it all on the 21. No, someone will come bite us. Now, Flanagan should start doing what Tyler was talking about earlier. He should try to aero block Matthew every chance he gets to try to wear some tires out of that truck. Because if he didn't get damaged, which he may have, but if he did not, he needs to wear these tires out right now to give himself the best chance.
It's your fault. It's your fault, Michael. You put the jinx on it. You put the commentator curse on MDW Matthew David Wood. You did it. So at least it ain't my tail that's going to fry after this race right here. But you're already seeing it right here, the fruits of the labor with, I mean, Flanagan trying to work it on out and try to slide on out there. He's already got it out to half a second. Wood already up on the top side. I really don't think he's got to worry about the aero blocking because maybe, Tyler, maybe he hit the wall hard enough to where it may end up costing him.
Yeah, I think the truck's hurt. And also, gentlemen, we were talking about it earlier, 35 laps if you want to split this stage in two. We are a couple of laps away now, call it about 7-8 laps away from potential green flag stops for all these drivers that want to split it here in two at around lap 110, 115.
And
also
I'm noticing Flanagan is now the first man one lap down. So he's going to get a wave around if there's a caution. If not, he is going to be able to cycle around to the front of the field when he brings his truck to pit road.
Yeah, absolutely. You mean Freeman? John Freeman, the one that had that issue. Obviously, he ended up, way too many F names, too many Fs. That's the story for a different day. There's Johnson almost getting into Cofield right there coming off turn two. And John Freeman, obviously. And here's the thing. He's not the fastest truck on the racetrack. If anything, I mean, he might be by maybe a couple of hundreds. But still hitting 32.7s. There you see right there the fastest 5-lap average. But he's right there with the tiny horse of Ryan Johnson. And Johnson right there, right on the numbers as well. Cofield right there racing Johnson as well. They got Rodriguez, or actually that's Matthew Montgomery right there in front of them as well as they're battling it out for the 4th spot. And there you see him. Hard racing right here. Johnson almost into the back of Montgomery as they're working their way around. Coming around this time with 40 to go.
Good racing right now. I believe Wood is hurt. He's about 6/10 down right now. Tristan Bruce, to me, has been saving the most. Oh, we got a slider. Here comes Eric Zimmerman. Mowing the yard right there, Jake.
Yeah, doing a little bit of landscaping duty right here on the front stretch. No caution on the Speedway, though. But certainly might have raised a couple of eyebrows for drivers that maybe needed that caution. Eric Zimmerman damn near gets nailed coming off of turn number 2. Tried to keep it down low as he could. Not sure what happened to the 94. Maybe got loose. Maybe there was contact to the 94. Not 100%. But certainly it's going to be a issue to deal with. Check it out. Ports Pop Resistant Replay. Let's see what happened right here.
Let's see here. It looks like he's got a little better tires than everybody. Eric is one of those guys that will do that. He'll pit off sequence. Just loose and snap it down through the yard there.
Yeah, absolutely. Pretty much cut a little bit of grass for free right there at the expense of the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Here's Tristan Bruce. He's got Cofield right in behind him. Cofield now going to try to go for 3rd. Johnson behind him. You got Montgomery not too far back from them. Devin Painterback Cherry trying to hold on to what they got, as well as Flanagan and Wood are gone. Like literally gone. Johnson may end up thinking about being gone, but nope, not yet. He'll get right in the back of Cofield, try to shove him past Bruce. Now Johnson's going to try to follow suit right through 3 and 4.
Tyler, what do you think right here? Do you think these guys just went too hard too soon? They seem to really be falling off. I thought maybe they were just saving, but we're looking at 2-3 tenths per lap. I mean, that's a little bit crazy at this point.
Yeah, looking at lap times right now, Cofield and Johnson are keeping pace with the leader, maybe even a couple hundredths faster. I think they may have saved in a way that was beneficial, but Bruce is definitely fallen off. He was 2/10 slower than the rest of the top 5 last lap around, the rest of the top 6. Montgomery ran 2/10 faster. Painter ran 2/10 faster. Further back, you see, now trouble there for Tiny Horse got in the wall there. But I don't see much of a gap between everybody except for Tristan Bruce. He is definitely going the wrong way in a hurry, already well off the pace. And Montgomery's also starting to slide, now running 33.1s.
Yeah, and the one thing I'm sitting here actually watching as well as David Flanagan ran a 33 flat, and Wood actually got him by a tenth that last lap. It is already starting to kind of claw it back in. You see Wood going to take that top side ride and try to get the run, as he will get the run coming down the front stretch. He cut it to 3/10, trying to put it to 2/10. So Matthew David Wood ain't out of this. He cracked another tenth off of it that last lap. And Wood, there you see him right there at the back door of Flanagan. And Tyler, we're right there at that point like you were talking about right here for pit stops. Rodriguez, Ed Osborne, they're going down pit road right here at that lap for 41 laps since they pitted. We're right there at that money stop pretty much at this point.
If you're in the top 10, I think you got to be the first one on pit road. The advantage of new tires here is over 2 seconds right now. You can run 31, sub 31 second lap times by yourself on fresh tires. We saw Freeman doing it earlier when he pitted, putting himself a lap down. I think you got to pit here. You got to get the tires to see. Freeman no longer the first truck 1 lap down, because Rodriguez and Scruggs, who have both now pitted in the last 4 laps, have come down pit road. Ed Osborne's also pitted around the 1:14, 1:15 mark. You're in the field window by about 10, 15 laps now. You got to come down pit road. If you're flanking, you think you're about to get passed by MDW, you come down pit road right now.
I gotta say, I agree 100% with that, because if you can pick up 2 seconds a lap, do it. I mean, do it right now. It may cost you a little bit later, but your only advantage right now, if you're coming down now, is to make up time that you've lost already. It may bite you at the end, but it's going to make this a much more competitive spread by the end of the race.
And Flanagan is not taking that opportunity to go down pit road, as Wood has pretty much caught him. Obviously, catching him is one thing and passing him is another. As you see, obviously, Matt Cherry working his way around Matthew Montgomery. Montgomery is actually starting to close in on Tristan Bruce. And Bruce has fell off like a rock. Montgomery's actually fell off like a rock as well. Matt Cherry coming on strong right here at this point. Excuse me. And now you see Matt Cherry working his way down to the inside of Tristan Bruce. Cherry literally driving by him like he's sitting still. It just keeps on trucking as MDW coming in. Oh, he's going to actually jump Flanagan. Kind of interesting move right here, Michael. Money stop, baby. Money stop.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, right? He made the correct decision. That's why this man wins races. If his truck is not hurt that bad, this is going to benefit him in the long run right here. It's not even going to be close, because as of right now, Tiny Horse is literally just running Flanagan down. 1/10, 2/10. Cofield fell off just a little bit, but he had to. This had to do this right now.
Yeah, Flanagan going down. Here we go. Now this is the money stop. Good Lord. Looking like a Waffle House drive-in, if you will. There ain't even a Waffle House drive-in. Make it a Burger King or Sonic drive-in. Everybody's sliding in, getting them 4 Freshies and filling it up full of fuel. Tyler, I will ask you this on this. You said that they could make it. Is there a possibility that you maybe take less gas than everybody else, or does it really matter at this point? Because I know that, before, as you see Tiny Horse going down pit road, I do know that if you take, full tank or less gas or whatever, it does have a little bit of different weight on the vehicle.
Yeah, I think you fill it, and you want the most stable truck you can get. You fill it as much as you can. That's not going to extend your tire stop. Interestingly enough, Matthew David Wood pit stop, 15.65 seconds. Dustin Scruggs, who pitted 4 or 5 laps earlier, 14.7 seconds. I'm looking at all these other pit stop times. We'll see what Ryan Johnson's time comes out to, but MDW, by pitting a lap before David Flanagan, who he was behind, is already 2 seconds ahead of David Flanagan coming off of pit road. So, I mean, it is absolutely immense the amount of time you made by pitting first. MDW is probably going to have a 3 to 4 second lead once everything cycles if he can get by Dustin Scruggs and Josh Rodriguez. Dustin Scruggs has 2 seconds on Rodriguez, who pit early, and Rodriguez has half a second on MDW. Now, there's a 5-lap tire advantage there, but the amount of time that MDW gained on Flanagan is almost 3 seconds.
That's why he wins races, Tyler, Jake. I mean, that's why he wins, right? He pulled the trigger before they did. 2-second advantage on track, little advantage on the pit lane, and look what it's coming down to. When this all cycles through, the chase is on.
And Tyler, that's always what always worry me is being one of the first people to come down pit road. Yes, you get it at the short or at the front end, but I was always one of them to worry about the back end of of the run to where they ended up catching you. That's what always ended up worrying me, and that's why I was always one of them to run it longer and not be one of those to short pit. I've always just had that mentality. I mean, is there really a preferred or better way to do it? I mean, do you really want to be the one that leapfrogs it, or do you feel like, or is it just a driver preference to maybe stay out and then be the one to try to run them down?
If you think you are fast enough in a significantly shorter period, then you go long because you're going to make up a lot of time on the end. But you only do that if you can go significantly longer than the guy. If you're only going one lap longer, there's no benefit at that point because the tires both fall off around the 10 to 15 lap mark and you're not going to get much time back. Now, if you can go 10 laps longer than the guy, then there is a benefit if you think you can run 20 hot laps faster than he can run 25 laps, right? It's all based on how confident you are in your truck and your ability. But if you go just one lap after the guy, there's not enough of an advantage on the tires. You just lost 2 seconds and you have to make that up through speed. And that's a lot harder to do than if you go 5 or 10 laps longer than a guy, then you have a significant tire advantage. His tires have already fallen off. You can be more aggressive. We've already seen MDW get around Josh Rodriguez, who pit 5 laps prior. He's lapping over half a second faster than Dustin Scruggs, who also pit 5 laps prior. But you look at the guy who pit 1 lap after him, David Flanagan pit 2 laps after him, I believe. David Flanagan's running a slower lap time, running a 31.6 than MDW, who ran a 31.4 last time by. There's not an advantage if it's a 1 or 2 lap difference. There is an advantage if it's a 5 to 10 lap difference, and we're seeing that with MDW passing Scruggs here probably in the next 5 or 6 laps.
Yeah, Wood really putting it on him right now, and obviously, I mean, Michael, it's like you talked about earlier. I mean, that's why he's won 7 races this season, and I mean, that's why that he is probably going to be the odds-on favorite to end up winning the championship. Depending on how the circumstances are. And there you see Dustin Scruggs right there. I mean, look at it right there, the lap leaders. Wood with 67, Cherry with 28. The list goes on and on down the list. As Wood already got it at about a half a second right here. Cracked off 3/10 right there that last lap as you're riding on board with a youngster. MDW Matthew David Wood started 22nd, and now he is right on the back door. Not on the back door, but right there, pretty much in the backyard, so to speak, of Dustin Scruggs, trying to show him that this is his house.
Well, like we said, this is why the young man wins a lot, right? He decided on the correct pit strategy. He got out of the pack of traffic that could have come all down. He gets the clean air right away, new tires. Got a little bit of a tire advantage, and he is going to roll Dustin Scruggs in within the next 2 laps. And then the chase is on, and everybody else that made the mistake, Flanagan is 1.7 seconds behind right now. He could lap a little bit quicker, but he's going to have to lap a lot, for a long time to try to catch him. And I just think that was a mistake.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty big bad mistake now that we're sitting here looking at it as Wood just drives around the outside of Dustin Scruggs, drives right around him, and pretty much bad to the bone. I can hear George Thorogood playing in the background, literally. Wood showing that he is bad to the bone here tonight at Vegas. And one thing I think that Wood would not want to see is a caution at this point. Flanagan right there pretty much matching it. You see the 5 fastest lap averages was obviously, Jonathan Cofield, pretty much the fastest one, but he's all the way back there on the 9th spot, 5 seconds back, so he's got a hell of a climb to make it happen as we are at the Premier Racing Setups, 20 to go. And folks, if you need a setup, go check it out. Obviously, PremierRacingSetups.com. It's Flanagan, damn, trying to make it down to the inside. Almost got into Rodriguez, almost got up into the wall. But remember, PremierRacingSetups.com. You need a setup, go check them out. 20 or 15% off your order if you mention NASRA. Oh, baby, getting hot out here. One more time, PremierRacingSetups.com. Go check them out. Fastest setups in iRacing is Flanagan and Rodriguez duking it out right here. This is getting good right here, Michael. Getting very good.
Yeah, great racing, but what I think I'm seeing here is Flanagan is going absolutely flat out. And with Wood's clean air advantage, we'll see here in a little bit. I believe Flanagan is absolutely flat out, and I think it's going to cost him here in about the next 10 laps, which will be right before the end of the race. We're probably going to see him fade out a little bit. I hope not, because I hope for a great finish.
Yeah, I think Wood might be hoping that he actually fades out, to be honest with you. He wants him to go by real fast. Cofield could be the sleeper out of this one, Tyler. What do you think? I mean, he's back here hitting, I believe that last lap he hit 31.5. Johnson actually hitting 31.6s to Wood's 31 or 32.1s. You think they could be some sleepers right here? May have something for Wood?
I was going to say maybe. I think they have a good enough strategy. They varied enough on them. I think Johnson's fast enough to only vary off by 2 laps. But Cofield did what I expected people to do. If you're going to run long, run long. And he ran 4 or 5 laps later than Matthew David Wood, and that's where the time difference matters. The problem for Cofield is he's stuck in this traffic. He needs to get past these 4 trucks here now. He cannot wait any more than maybe a lap or 2. He has to get through this field, has to get by these trucks. If he doesn't get through them in the next 2 laps, he has no chance. Johnson, on the other hand, he has a chance, but he's losing that time advantage more and more every lap. Last lap by, he was only about 2/10 quicker, 31.8 flat to a 31.98. David Flanagan ran, half a tenth slower than your leader, Matthew David Wood, last time by. And Johnson's going to have to get by Flanagan quickly. But, the most frustrated driver on track probably right now, David Flanagan. Because Josh Rodriguez threw a bad block with a massive speed disadvantage twice. Blocked him low and then blocked him high. If I'm Flanagan, I would have turned him. I would have wrecked him. I know it's not the right thing to say. I would have turned him around 6 ways till Sunday. That's what you get for being stupid this late.
I think we got beef. We got beef. Go ahead and tell us how you really feel, Tyler.
It was a dumb move. You know you're not going to keep in the top 3. There's other faster drivers out there. Like, why? And Michael, maybe it's a harsh reality of it, but that is not what I would want any way, shape, or form. Nor would I race someone that way, that late in a race. I have a 8-10 lap tire disadvantage. Just let the guy go. I tried something, it didn't work out. Oh well.
I don't think any of these guys think that way. That's how I think. That's how you think. I don't think these guys think that. They're like, well, I'll just hold him back there. Maybe I can cause a little damage or get him to check up and I can grab it later. I don't think any of these guys ever think, well, I'll just lay over for these guys. And that's some of the problem with the league as well, because you get such aggression.
Makes it entertaining, that's for darn sure.
I gotta do it. Y'all got some beef, really. Y'all lighting it up right now with 13 to go. Unlucky number of 13 with 13 laps to go here tonight. Wood got Flanagan by about a second, and he got him by 2/10 that lap. So Flanagan catching. Johnson now's under a second. Cofield still trying to get through all of this traffic the best that he can as Johnson's going to slide, try to get around Flanagan. They're going to be side by side, door to door right here with 12 to go, going for second place. Johnson trying to get clear. He is clear. Johnson goes to second. Now he's got one more man to catch, and that's MDW, Matthew David Wood.
Like you said, Tyler, this is the man with the chance. We're going to find out here if Matthew David Wood actually has damage that is hampering him a little bit, or if he's just pacing himself for the last 10 laps or so. We should know here in the next couple laps if Tiny Horse has a chance or not. I don't know if I like that line this late in the race, but I don't win races, so maybe that's the proper way to go.
Almost a tenth faster that lap, so he is closing, pulling about 800ths of a second. I agree with you, Mike. If there's someone that's going to do it, it's Ryan. The problem is he can't make a mistake. He has to be aggressive. He has to go 110%. But if he hits the wall once, it's over because he doesn't have enough laps left.
Yeah, but here's the big thing about all that. He may end up catching him. Catching him is one thing, passing him is another. I talked about that a while ago. We'll see what the times was right there. About another tenth. Wood 32.5, Johnson 32.4, and Cofield back there hitting those 32.5s as well. So it's basically like we were talking about, coming down to Wood and Johnson for the win, unless unless we have some kind of NASRA chaos and we end up flipping this race over on its lid and we get a caution, and then all that more or less just goes right out the door, Michael.
Well, the problem is Johnson, I'll bet everything I own, he's going to have to pull the pass off. Well, no, and there's that mistake we're talking about right there. That's the mistake, and that's going to cost him.
Maybe not cost him, but that was John Freeman sliding around him, obviously one of the lap cars or lap trucks, trying to work his way back up through here. He works his way to the outside of MDW, Matthew David Wood. Remember, John Freeman ended up winning stage number 2 by staying out, and then it ended up costing him out of all of it. See what the lap time looks like this time. Wood hits it with a 32.7, Johnson 32.6, not quite a tenth, but a little bit under that. Johnson still trying to pedal his way on, and Flanagan trying to close back in any way that he can. It ain't looking too good right now. Honestly, I like MDW's chances right here, Michael. I really do.
Yeah, 6 to go, 6/10 down. He's just hoping for a little bigger sniff of that draft. He needs more of that draft and no mistakes. Absolutely no mistakes. If he can get a little bit of draft, maybe get a little momentum off the high side, I would expect MDW to go up, but he's not. He's still staying on the bottom. So is Tiny Horse, which kind of surprised me. I would think he would try for that extra momentum, but he's trying for the shorter distance. So we'll just see how it works out. We're going to have 6 to go at the line and 6/10 to go. So he is reeling him in a little bit. He needs a little bit of that draft.
And Tyler, I'll ask you this. I mean, I'm not 100% if Wood's going to be able to catch the lap cars up in front of him by the end of it. I don't believe he will, but is that going to be an advantage for Wood, getting that draft off of those lap cars, or is that going to actually hurt him in the corners, getting that dirty air?
I think he doesn't want to see them. I think he wants to be able to run whatever line he can to block and put the dirty air onto Ryan Johnson's truck. I don't think he wants to have to deal with any lap time. See, Ryan's got to change his line now. I think he's close enough to start feeling a little bit of the dirty air, but the draft effect is there. Almost a 1/10 faster last lap. We'll see what the time difference is this time by, as it resets here, 1/10 again, another 1/10. So he's there. He's going to have an opportunity at this, Michael and Jacob. I don't know, though. Now it's the dirty air factor.
Serious dirty air right here that he's got going on right here. Is now Wood actually kind of taking it down to the inside maybe, and now Wood gonna jump up top. Johnson gonna take it down on the inside. Wood trying to get it going. Johnson trying to make it happen. Got the clean air. Hits the draft. I might have screwed up. I might have put the jinx on him as well on that one. Michael, here comes Johnson. He's got a shot right here, but is he gonna be able to make the pass? He's got 4 laps to do it.
I don't think so. You saw right there, Matthew made the adjustment out to the outside, picked up a 10th, and Tiny Horse has to make the pass on the bottom. I don't know if he can. Now, if he can shove it in there real hard, we'll see, but you'll see right here, he will pull away on the straightaway. The draft is being negated right here by a little aero block, a little more momentum off the top side. You see him pick up 700s right there on the straightaway.
Yeah, I mean, he is trying his damnedest to be able to try to catch MDW Matthew David Wood. 3 to go. Now make it 2 laps to go once they hit the line. But down the backstretch, still with 3 to go. And Wood he's down the bottom, just trying to get it out there. Johnson gonna full send it right here on the inside lane. Got it by a 10th now. Make it back to 2/10. Johnson literally throwing haymakers, trying to get to the back door, trying to put some pressure on Wood, trying to put that intimidator button on him any way that he can. Oh, baby, this is getting good. I love it right here. I'm happy to be back, and I'm happy to see this right here, Michael. This is going to be a shootout right here with these old boys.
Hey, Tyler, will he move him if he needs to?
I don't think he's going. He might try the slide job.
He sent that one.
Full send by Johnson down on the inside. Pull some side draft. Got to try to pull him back. Not able to do it. White flag. Darren's detailing shine. White flag here at Vegas. Who's going to get it done? Is it going to be Wood? Is it going to be Johnson? Johnson sends it down on the inside. Not able to make the pass yet. Wood going to keep it up top. Johnson's got one more shot right here in 3 and 4. It's going to be a full send for Johnson if he can get there. Wood gonna come down. He covers the inside. That might be all she wrote. MDW Matthew David Wood, 8 wins on the season tonight here at Las Vegas. Matthew David Wood's gonna win it. NASRA 360 Racing Network 220. Johnson, hell of an effort. He ends up finishing second. David Flanagan to get third. Jonathan Cofield up 21 spots. He'll finish fourth. And Matt Cherry is going to round out the top 5, but the night belongs once again to Matthew David Wood. And we're crashing at the behind them. Oh, we got beef. We got beef. Tristan Bruce and Matt Cherry got a little beef back there coming off of turn number 2. Wow. I love it.
Earlier in the race. That goes back to early on in the race.
I got to give a crew chief something to do during the week, right?
Yeah, screw the guys back at the shop. Yeah, Bruce goes to the outside of Cherry, and Cherry just turns right into him. Watching it, but wow.
We got to see that. Cherry and Bruce.
Everyone wrecked trying to avoid it. See it as they come across the line here. They're racing with each other. Near the end, Cherry gets 5th. Bruce gets 6th. You have the lap truck at number 9. Chris plays in between them at the end. But just watch this, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to jump to the outside here. The number 3 race is over. Yeah, race is over. Watch the Bruce machine. He's going to jump to the outside of Cherry to try to go by him. You're just going to see that number 45. Drift up, bang, and into the wall they go. Matt Montgomery gets involved, unfortunately. You'll see him slide in here, not expecting it, right there.
Oh, I got to hit it one more time.
We got beef.
There's beef right there. Beef.
Yeah, just remember the end of stage 1. That's what that's all about. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think Tristan can explain it away, but that's what we got. A little bit of beef at the end of stage 1 that transfers into incident points at the end of the race.
Oh, baby, it's going to be good right here to see what happens when we get back at it next week, see how the penalties end up flapping out of that one. MDW Matthew David Wood, the hard charger, most laps led, fastest lap, you name it. Wood pretty much got it except for the pole award, which was Josh Rodriguez. 3 cautions for 9 laps. And there was 12 green flag lead changes between 9 different leaders. MDW with the win here tonight. Johnson not able to run him down. If he had a couple more laps, he might have had something for him. But he ends up getting second. David Flanagan third. Cofield and Cherry the top 5. Tristan Bruce, Matt Cherry had that little scuffle. See if that's actually where they finish. We'll see what happens out of that. Dustin Scruggs, Rodriguez, Devin Painter, and Luke Schmidt, Kermit D. Frog, rounding out the top 10, Michael.
Absolutely. And then we got Matthew Montgomery. He come in 11th. Adam Lichty 12th. Dana Shepard 13th. Cody Knott with a nice run 14th. Nick Sacco 15th. Brandon Broadfoot 16th. Isaac Bevan 17th. Raul Meza hung in there all night. Ran 18th. Brandon Schumann 19th. And we saw Huck Wigington rounding out the top 20, Tyler.
Yeah, looking throughout the field, Ed Osborne, Curtis Banks, Blanchard, John Freeman, Eric Zimmerman, your top 25, and then throw on back to the field. Newton, Beard, Jose Luis Rivera, Jeff Merck, and Tyler Daniels round out your field of 30 trucks tonight. I just got done talking with one Matthew Cherry down on pit road as he climbed out of his lovely Toyota Tundra. And he said, he wrecked me at the end of that stage. We saw the trouble. We saw Bruce get loose. I talked to Bruce earlier. He just got loose in the bumps. Cherry not happy with it. Apparently, they got into each other Wednesday night as well. Seems like frustration's boiling over there. Cherry has had enough, he said. He said he's sick of his, and I quote, S-H-I-T. I won't swear on the broadcast for all of you children watching. But, a lot of frustration. The driver was very, very upset talking to him. You could tell visibly frustrated based on his tone. And I don't expect that beef between those two to be done. I think they do not like each other. And you know what? Could be the new rivalry needed here in the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series.
Yeah, it's good content. It's good stuff. We absolutely love it. That is the race to the finish with MDW and Johnson. Wood gets the win. Johnson and Flanagan, the podium. We'll talk to them On the other side of this break, Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series. We're back at Vegas right after this.
Craftsmanship that lasts a lifetime is Florida Cabinet Distributors. With over 20 years in business and 39 years of woodmaking experience, they proudly serve Northeast Florida to Southeast Georgia, delivering custom woodwork that combines precision, beauty, and durability. Whether you're dreaming of a custom kitchen, bathroom vanity, fireplace and mantle, entertainment center, outdoor kitchen, or even a full library, we can build it at Florida Cabinet Distributors, exactly the way that you envision. Hey, no project is too big or too small. If it's made of wood, Florida Cabinet Distributors can make it. Call or text Steve today. Yes, they gave us his personal cell number, 904-874-3442. That's 904-874-3442 to book today. Florida Cabinet Distributors, craftsmanship that lasts a lifetime.
We're back at it here in Vegas. Got a podium finishers, obviously, in Florida Cabinet Distributors Victory Lane. Once again, it's the youngster, MDW, Matthew David Wood. Wood, buddy, you got the win. Congratulations on that. Talk us through that whole last little stint and the whole last little battle right there with you and Ryan Johnson. Did you feel like you had, that you was at a good spot right there, or was you at least a little bit worried?
I was definitely worried. I knew worried is an understatement. I was sitting here. I knew he had better tires than me. I pitted earlier than I think I even expected to, because I didn't really know when to pick, because I knew I needed to get around David, because throughout the whole race, whoever was in front was just going to kind of stay there. And as soon as I gave up the bottom to David and he got around me, I started to get back to him. And then, of course, pit stops were going to happen. So, I didn't know how long they were going to stay out. I knew if they stayed out too, I'd be in a little bit of trouble. So I tried to save as much as I could. As soon as I came off pit road, I was staying behind people with older tires to try and save. Once I got within 1.5, I started pushing again. But he had a very, very fast truck tonight. He's incredible at tire saving, and I kept giving up the bottom to him in 3 and 4 because that was really the only chance I was going to have, because I could not, every time I go to the bottom, I couldn't get it turned. So the only shot I had was going to the top. And if he would get to my back bumper, and if he would have got to my back bumper in 3 and 4, it would have been over. So I was definitely nervous, but he put on an incredible run. So did David. They were absolutely flying tonight, and Tristan was up there. A lot of fun.
Yeah, Matthew, this is Mike. I'm back now. I'm enjoying myself. I enjoyed that race. First, I got to know how many calls you've put into Florida Cabinet Distributors so you can put all the trophies up on there. But this race, I kind of knew you was going to force Ryan to the bottom, right? It's you get the momentum on the top. Did you just decide you had to aero block to keep him behind there on that last lap? Because I saw you just take away the bottom. Looks like it got him a little bit tight and he didn't have the run. So I feel like that was a good move for you.
Yeah, in 1 and 2, I definitely had to take the air away from him, because the top just wasn't working in 1 and 2 for me whatsoever. I tried it a couple times in that final stint, but it wouldn't work. So as soon as I got clear of him off of 4 coming to the white, I knew I had to get in front of him as soon as I possibly could so I could take that air off of him. And then 3 and 4, I just knew that if I went top, then I don't expect Ryan to send it in and pull a Hail Mary move. But I just don't want to give myself up and hit the outside wall, so I'll go back to the bottom. But again, I know it's very, very annoying for him. The dirty air in this truck is terrible. I hate it because I feel like at tracks like this, it brings less quality racing, in my opinion, because now you're just air blocking like the next gen. You don't really, compared to the old truck anyway, I guess. But again, I got to thank Outlier like always. Great team, best setups on iRacing. We have incredible sportsmanship. Thank everybody out on the racetrack. Thank you all for doing an incredible job. As always up here, thanks to everybody that supports me in the chat, off the racetrack, on the racetrack. Thank the Lord for what he's done for me, for sending Jesus down for all of us. This is the track last year that I won just after Pops died, so this is a very special track to me. I love this place, and it's good to come back here about a year later and win again.
Pretty much knocked them all out right there. I was just getting ready for the sponsors and shout outs, but he pretty much nailed it. He's got this figured out, y'all. I mean, he knows what the hell to say. I mean, it is what it is. He knows what to say. He's got it figured out. MDW, Matthew David Wood, buddy, congratulations on the win. Appreciate your time. And we'll see you next week.
God bless y'all.
That was MDW, Matthew David Wood gets the win. Here this evening, we'll go to second place finisher. It's the cheesehead himself, Tiny Horse, Rod Johnson. Johnson, buddy, did you need a couple of more laps, or what else did you need to get that 38 in victory lane here tonight?
Apparently need a better vehicle. This whole race just irritated the hell out of me. You couldn't do anything. You get even near someone's bumper and the truck shoots up the track. You can't turn. You can't run top or bottom because you got in the middle of the pack. You got people everywhere. You can't find any clean air. And that's all you need. I find it amazing, even with fresher tires, there's nothing you can do. And that was probably the most irritating race of the season. And normally I like running this track, but yeah, I I hated it tonight. To put it simple.
I tell you, Ryan, we watched you all night dancing. It looked like that truck danced all night. Every time off of two, you were seeming to have trouble, but the speed at the end was super impressive. You kind of knew the aero block was coming, and that to me it feels like you're upset about it, and I understand that. But all in all, a great run tonight. You should be proud of yourself, man. I think you did a fantastic job with what you were fighting because I could see it.
Well, thank you. I mean, everyone's kind of stuck with it, so we don't really have a choice. But it just, I mean, I think it would have been a better race. Had some things been different, but I mean, I drove as hard as I could, even on that last run after we pit. I stayed out a couple laps later than these guys to hopefully have a little bit of an advantage towards the end. I think around 120 was where I really wanted to come down, and I think that was when we pit. Maybe it was a lap after, but I wanted to try and get some sort of an advantage because we kept getting not hung out, but I was trying to save, I think, too much earlier in the race, and people kept flying past me, and I'd have to run all these people back down and try and pass them back. Certain aspects, like the truck being kind of hard to drive, was kind of fun when it would get loose a little bit here and there. I think it was at the end, Freeman went flying past me and almost just put me sideways, which, I don't know, that kind of threw me off. So that was interesting. It sent me sideways a little bit, but congrats to NBW. Had I been a little smarter and tried to stay up, I think earlier in the race might have helped out a little, but we'll take it. We'll move on. We only got, I think, a couple more races till the playoffs start, so we keep getting top 5, so I'm pleased with that. Just ready to move on.
I think he's ready to go get him a shot of whiskey or something, try to get this night over with any way that he can. Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson, buddy, congratulations on the P2. Appreciate your time. You got any sponsors or any shout outs?
Yeah, I got to thank Brady, Cody, everyone at NASRA putting it on. You guys have been the booth for broadcast, and Josh Suss and my Blue Lights team, all my teammates, our sponsors, Merce Magical Creations, Concerns of Police Survivors, Starbase 1552 Comics, Florida Cabinet Distributors for being on the truck as well, Cofield Asphalt Refinishing, Cofield Supply and Service, and everyone tuning in. And hopefully it was a better show watching than it was driving.
Tiny Horse Ron Johnson. Yeah, it was a hell of a show. I will say that, to say the least. I agree with Michael on that, and I agree with everybody. Tiny Horse Ron Johnson, buddy, congratulations on the run. Appreciate your time. Go get you a shot of whiskey, buddy. Shot of whiskey always helps always helps me forget stuff and always puts me in a better mood. We'll see you next week.
It's calling my name. Thank you, buddy.
Sounds like a plan. Johnson getting P2 here tonight. David Flanagan coming home with a P3 here tonight. David, buddy, congratulations on the run. Talk us through this race because, Johnson's sitting here saying, it was hard to pass. It was rough. It was all this other things. You're taking the race here tonight.
Yeah, totally different. I love these damn trucks. I'll tell you that. I think it just adds a whole element. You have to really focus on setting up your passes, and I just think it adds a level of I don't know, almost a skill gap really, because a lot of people don't really understand it right now, and then it's frustrating, but once you get it down, it's just it's so much fun to drive. So I definitely have a different take, but I'm different from everybody in the group and probably not the most liked one. So
you don't have to be liked to be loved. Come on now.
Exactly.
Hey, were you having as much difficulty as the guys off of 2 tonight? We saw a lot of the get tight, snap loose all of a sudden. Were you able to negotiate that better or just kind of run a little different lines? I saw a lot of guys wash up, snap a little loose, and then that would cause a little bit of chaos in the middle of the field.
Yeah, turn 1 and 2, it's really bumpy all the way down to the bottom. So I try to run just about a lane up, pretty much on that dash white line the whole race. Stay away from the bumps. Really, I only got loose when somebody was directly on me, taking the air off me. But other than that, no, not really. I got tight. This track just eats tires, whether you like it or not, and yeah, it's just really a tire game and just planning your moves and just trying to be consistent.
Anything, Tyler?
I gotta say, we watched the trucks deal with the handling issues all night long, whether it was a tight or a loose condition. Do you think that this new package, although it can be frustrating with the aero blocking, is actually a good thing for the truck series, especially on iRacing? It seems like we saw a lot of action, a lot of clean racing, but also a lot of interesting moves and maybe some strategy there in the race.
100%. These trucks reflect real life. I run officials quite a bit, and I'm always in splits with Raj and Hocevar and just all the truck drivers, and whenever anyone complains about the new aero package, they're always the first to jump on it and be like, this is exactly how the truck feels. I enjoy it. I love racing it. I'm kind of a C.O.P.S merchant, so take that with a grain of salt. But I don't know. I think it's just fun. I think it just adds a whole different element to it, and you're not just riding around on the bottom and then jumping to the top 25 laps into the run. I just think it just makes for better racing and more entertaining racing, and the moves are harder and the passes look better. In my opinion, when you're throwing it down in the corner, seeing if it's going to stick and sliding it up in front of someone's nose, I think that's what racing is, and that's what it's all about, really. Just trying to get every bit out of the car and just trying to get to the front and win.
This is fun. We're having fun. A lot of people don't understand that right there, but we have heard that. Obviously, if you've been racing on iRacing, that slogan out of that. But David, buddy, congratulations on the P3. Appreciate your time. You got any sponsors, any shout outs you want to thank?
Yeah, of course. This back-to-back P3s. I don't think y'all broadcasted last week, but I finished third in that race too, or second. I don't know, one of the two. but that's back to back. So I'm feeling pretty good. You know, we're getting into the playoffs, so it's time to start getting hot again. I'm starting to focus a lot more and try not to junk people. I gave a lot tonight. But anyways, back to the Jack Shack. You know, of course, Trev, missed you, of course. And yeah, everybody on the team, thank you, of course, for the broadcast. Appreciate it. And we'll see y'all next week. And hopefully I'm talking about the win.
We'll see what happens. David Flanagan, buddy, congratulations on the P3. Appreciate your time. We'll see you next week.
Yep, thanks.
That was David Flanagan, the 31, ends up getting a third here this evening. What a race. What a wild one here tonight. Great, great race. I loved it. Tyler, buddy, your final take on Las Vegas here this evening.
I mean, I think this has to be one of the best tracks you put on the schedule year in, year out. I love this track. I think we saw great racing. Yes, some drivers were frustrated with the aero situation, with the tight situation, with the loose situation, but it made for great quality racing. We saw strategy. We saw drivers opt to not try strategy, and it didn't work out for them. I think we saw the importance of pitting soon, and we saw maybe some benefits to pitting later. But some of these drivers just didn't have what it takes, didn't gamble, didn't place their chips on the right number, didn't bet big red. Because tonight, Matthew David won that 21 machine, man, he was big red. And at the end of the day, big red always finds a way to the top.
Yeah,
always does. Go ahead, Michael.
My final thought is this. Here's, if you can hear this. Yes, sir. A little bit of time for a tasty beverage because that race was fun. You can see the difference in the trucks. You can literally see it. I've never seen so many people snap off of two. I've seen a lot of people tied on two, but not a lot of snaps off two. So the aero work that they are doing in the virtual world seems to be working. The racing is good. And as we see, the cream comes to the top. And that's what we saw tonight. It's save a little tire, keep a little momentum. Trucks are all about momentum and control. And those three guys that we just talked to showed that they know exactly how to do it. And I'll be back next week, I hope, Jake. I think I'm going to stay with you for a while, so I appreciate it.
Sounds like a plan, buddy. Always good to have you and Tyler up here in the booth. Dean, buddy, your final take on Viva Las Vegas, sir. Always a pleasure working with you.
Well, I think, everybody said practically everything that needs to be said, but obviously you can see the domination there for MDW, their hard charger, most laps led, fastest lap. But the biggest thing that really sticks out, which makes this fantastic race that we had, was the cautions. 3 of them for 9 total laps out of a total of 150 laps. So that goes to show you how fantastic this race was. Mostly on the green, and as you can see, strategy comes into play, just great racing across the board. So tipping the hat to all the fantastic gladiators that came on board here this evening for a fantastic race.
Yeah, fantastic race it was, really. I mean, just a beautiful, beautiful facility. I wish I could go out there, but I'll be honest with you, I ain't got the damn money to make it out there. MDW, getting it done. Good for you. I don't know how your money situation turned out when you went out there, but if it was me, I'd be broke 9 ways to Sunday. But MDW, Matthew David Wood, he gets the win here tonight. What's going to happen next week? Regular season finale. Go Daytona. It's going to be very interesting. But folks, that's going to do it for this broadcast. It's obviously DSR Electric Truck Series. They're coming up on Monday night. Will be a banger, as always, with their playoffs going on. Keep up with everything going on. Obviously, like and subscribe to the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Keep up with everything going on with the North American Sim Racing Association Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and also on Fridays. Always some good stuff. Got to thank all the great sponsors, Pulse Poppers, DSR Electric, C.O.P.S for what they do, Darren's Detailed Shine, you name it, Burst Magical Creations, Premier Racing Setups. Hell, I could go on and on and on, but I ain't got the time. I just ain't got the time. Just so many great sponsors here with this league. Drivers put on a fantastic show. You fans, man, y'all come out. I mean, y'all love this league. I love this league. We love this league. That's why we're here on a Friday night broadcasting, enjoying this, interacting with you guys. Brady, man, still prayers to their family. I hope everything goes well. Hope everything's good. And Cody and TJ Moore, all the admins, everybody that's got a hand in this. Thank you for them letting us come in here and broadcast this for yourselves and entertain you, the fans. For the best damn producer in the business, the Australian Dean Humpton Bengals, for Tyler Dittmer, Michael McKinnon, I'm the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves. And as I always say, be safe, be kind, be fast. Daytona next Friday night, High Banks Super Speedway. Don't want to miss it next Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, live and only on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Let's go to Daytona, boys.